the access to the highway is very easy. Usually what smugglers do here is they'll drive down here, the smugglers will be waiting at the riverbank for the bundles with the human smugglers, and basically it becomes very easy to actually smuggle people or drugs into the country. As you can see, there was nobody down here. Have you guys seen any agents?
No.
So, I mean, it's a huge...
Well, on the other side we did.
Oh, on the Mexican side?
Yes.
Right.
No. The wrong guys down here.
Oh,
asking us if we were in this white van.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This man was like,
yeah, of course.
how would he know?
Yeah, but how did he know? See, there you go.
We had already been...
And many times there's people that all they do is actually scout for the drug traffic, for the drug cartels, and basically they're keeping an eye out, see who's out here, see if there's any border patrol agents, or they're kind of keeping an eye out for them to actually do their stuff.
Hey brother, you're gonna hate them.
Yes.
Hey everyone, this is Hector Garza. He's a Border Patrol agent. He's also a spokesman for the union here in Laredo. What is it, 2455?
Local 2455. And you want me to do the introduction again? Is that what you want? Again, my name is Hector Garza. I'm a Border Patrol agent coming up on almost 14 years of working in the Laredo sector area. I'm also the spokesperson for the National Border Patrol Council, Local 2455. We represent about 1,700 members, Border Patrol agents, and support staff in the Laredo area. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, if there's any security violations, I won't be any security questions. I won't be answering them, but I can pretty much give you a lot of general stuff and what happens out here and some of the challenges that we face. So if you have any questions, definitely ask.
If there are 1,400 that you represent, where are they?
Unfortunately, what we see a lot is that a lot of these agents are being assigned to like administrative type of duties. We have a lot of community outreach programs, and that's one of the for example, like the arguments that I have with some of the chiefs. We have like something that's called the Star Reader program, which is a very good program where our agents actually go to the schools and do presentations for the local community. They're great programs. However, in hard times like the ones we're facing right now, some of those programs should not be priorities. You know, we need to make sure that we have our guys out here, because many times the drugs are getting away and the dangerous criminals are entering our country. So.
DPS and their quote-unquote surge.
DPS is very active in the valley right now. As far as the Laredo area, we have not seen an increase in DPS. Now, the apprehensions and the level of drugs and humans that are being smuggled in the valley is crazy compared to Laredo. Now, the surge, we have seen a lot of people in the valley. I was out there about 2 weeks ago, and you drive around on the highways, and there's a lot of DPS. Now, drugs and humans smuggling, it's a commodity. You know, you have to move it. There's got to be transported somewhere. Right. So it's got to be moved on Texas highways. So DPS will do a really good job in that it'll cover some of the roads as the traffickers are moving up or moving the product out of the area. Like for example, we have some houses in this area where some of the aliens will be stashed, some of the drugs will be stashed, and the guys will come right back. And when the traffic comes out, that's when DPS will hopefully apprehend them. Again, they adjust very quickly. If they see DPS in this area, they will hold the traffic until they're ready to go. Yes, sir.
I heard you say, is there estimated 21,000 members of the border?
Yes, sir. There's 21,000.
That's nationally?
Yes, sir. Nationally, yes, sir.
So that encompasses from us to
California. I mean, you're talking about the northern border, everything.
How many are just in Texas?
I don't know exactly how many in Texas. I can tell you that here in Laredo, we have 1,700.
But in another sense, I felt really bothered because they're talking specifically about the Rio Grande Valley sector as though it's the whole border that they're securing. And knowing what you guys go through here in the Laredo sector, I felt kind of offended. I was bothered by that personally because and that's why, what was the impetus to bring everyone down, is that there's, you know, I've talked to a lot of your agents. I'm obviously not going to say which ones, but some of them I have talked to because they're so frustrated with their jobs, with how they're being treated and how other agents are being treated. And I feel like this is a plight that most people don't realize, that you oftentimes have an agent out here alone. It's completely sketchy. You know, there are obviously people who are scouting for cartels. They're out here at nighttime sometimes. And I just feel like it wasn't represented at all in that press conference. It really bothered me not to hear them talk about the other sectors of the Texas border with Mexico.
Well, many times the way the agency looks at how busy a sector is based on apprehension. So we've seen a lot of apprehensions in the Rio Grande Valley sector, in the Tucson sector. The numbers are up there. But what happens in Laredo is that if you don't have the agents on the ground to actually catch people, how are those numbers ever going to go up? Now, there's another problem with that, is that the agency will also quote got-away numbers. Basically what a got-away is somebody that entered the country and basically got away. Now, if you don't have the agents in a certain area to count got-aways, how do you ever know who got away? Now, we've usually seen that our agents will, once in a while, travel to those areas, those remote areas that we never get to go, and they'll discover a whole bunch of traffic, and we realize that we're getting beat, and that a lot of groups of people are actually being smuggled through there. But if you don't have the agents on the ground assigned to a certain area, guess what? It looks good, right? Nobody will be able to tell that people are getting away or people are being apprehended.
Well, you brought that up earlier, that the apprehension numbers are down, but if the apprehension numbers are down, that doesn't mean the numbers of people coming here are down. It just means the numbers of, because out here, I mean, nobody's here to catch anyone except you now, because we invited you, we asked you to come. But we haven't seen, how long have we been out here? An hour? I mean, I could have brought a bunch of people across, you know?
Of course.
And
Big van.
yeah, but I'm saying, how do they know? They say the apprehensions are down, but that doesn't necessarily indicate the traffic is down, right?
Well, what that indicates is that the alien children and maybe the family units are down. What was happening is that we're seeing a lot of children crossing the border and a lot of family units. We feel that what was driving that influx was the fact that these people were getting a free pass. They were being allowed into our country. So now that's what was driving the children and the family units. However, the regular traffic, which is your regular people that are crossing, your criminals and people that come and go, those are still crossing. Now, the alien children, the family units, those numbers might be down, but there's still a lot of traffic to actually try to catch.
Now, this is another thing. So later on tonight, what I'm going to do with the group, and I know that you have to go into San Antonio, but I'm going to take the group to Fisherman's Landing, and to the Azteca neighborhood, to the pipes, to the drainage pipes that are being exploited. And then I'm also going to probably take them to West Laredo to actually go down to the river. What can you tell us about those areas? Let's start with Fisherman's Landing.
For example, and I'll probably join you guys to Fisherman's Landing. That type of area is adjacent to a neighborhood and the river, which is the border. So it makes it very difficult to actually patrol and to actually secure that area. You can be on one side of the neighborhood, but on the other side you're getting beat. So you actually need boots on the ground to be able to cover those areas. Obviously, we also need the technology, the sensors, the cameras, but if there's no funding allocated, how do we do our job? Now, as we're speaking right now, CBP continues to actually limit the man hours that our Border Patrol agents can be actually working. It's already been a few months that CBP has limited our manpower by 5%.
Whoa. So CBP, being the Customs and Border Protection, being the agency that is above that the Border Patrol is a part of, and then CBP is also a part of Homeland Security.
Correct.
So it goes. Here's our president. Here's the Homeland Security, right? With DOJ, yeah, and then would be Homeland Security, and then under that would be CBP, and then within that is Border Patrol as one section.
Correct.
So, in the last few months, in the peak of this crisis, they've limited your man hours by 5%.
Yeah, that's correct. It's already been, I want to say about that 5% of our manpower has been reduced. As we speak right now, our agents are still being limited. They're not allowed to actually work what is needed. They're restricted, and unfortunately, at a time like this, when we need our agents out here, they need to be allowed to actually work.
Did they give a reason for it? Because they don't have to.
Sequestration, basically, but they did not budget for that. Now we see that the president is asking.
I missed your answer.
Sequestration.
Oh,
Now we do know that the president requested $3.7 billion to be able to care and house and hire attorneys for these children and family units. However, how come we don't get that money for border security? Where's the concern for that? Sequestration is still in full effect with the Border Patrol. Our agents are still being limited with the amount of hours that they can work. I'm very sure.
How long have you been with the agency?
Almost 14 years, sir.
Okay. I trust whatever you tell me. I'm going to throw a little bit of a hypothetical at you, but the thing is, the one aligning message that I keep getting over and over and over again is boots on the ground.
Yes, sir.
If we had more boots on the ground, we could deal with the traffic. My question to you is, if you did have enough, forget budgets, forget everything, if you had enough boots on the ground to actually cover the border, to cover up the river, would you stop the traffic?
Definitely, because the drugs don't want to get apprehended. The dangerous criminals don't want to get caught. Right now, who wants to get caught are the children and the family units. But they want to get caught. Why is that? Because they're getting the free passage to the United States. That's why they're surrendering themselves to Border Patrol and to law enforcement. However, the drug, they don't want to get caught by our guys. They don't want for the National Guardsmen to see them while they're crossing the river. We will definitely stop them. We have the people on the ground. We'll be able to